what happens is it's like your brain kicks in. It's like it gets jolted with creativity, and all of a sudden your brain just kind of unlocks this portion of the brain that just, it's probably the portion that, you know, not the cerebral portion, but the portion that's called figure it the fuck out.
Connected to Sales Remastered.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel and I'm your host. And on this episode of Breakfast of Champions, today being Tuesday, June 12th, 2018, right about 6:39 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just so you know that this shit goes live. Like, there's no edits. I'm not holding no script. I am driving, but it's more or less to show you and prove to you that none of this is, you know what I mean? None of this is practiced, right? If anything, like, my focus is on the road, so you know it. I'm not, you know, giving out any ingenuine shit. And that actually has to do with the topic of today of you know, really being genuine, right? Like 100% pureness, clarity, clearness. And the reason why I bring this up is because, you know, the real topic of today's episode is going to be based on the difference between want and need. Yep, want and need. And so why I chose this topic is because, you know, I just kind of went off like on a 5-minute freestyle on Instagram stories. And unless you're that one person who does not have an IG account, I would strongly recommend that you check the notes below this video. I'm gonna hook you up with the links on all my social media channels, but if Instagram catches your eye and you find most of your time being spent on that application, I invite you to check out my feed and check out the content. But more importantly, follow, because you'll be notified of any live sessions that I do while I'm handling my cardio here at the gym. And so in this episode, or the live story that I had with Instagram, I talked about, you know, the difference between wanting and needing. And I went in kind of a backstory of, you know, my experience, my very first experience in making a 5-figure paycheck. And I think that this is important to talk about because, you know, every day we need clarity. We need some sort of clear, 100% pure result that we envision, right? Because it's not yet a result, right? It's a goal until you get the result, right? And so that's what us in sales, we typically are always motivated by. We're always motivated by the result. We're motivated by the high paycheck. We're motivated by the accolade, the trophy, the company paid trip, the free car washes, the, you know, the shout out, the, you know, whatever floats your boat. We are continuously striving for the result. Even if you're an introvert, right? Like, even if you don't want the attention, at the end of the day, you're striving towards something, and that result could just very well be the income. Needless to say, we need to have kind of like this path, this map, this GPS guidance of sorts, where unless we could see the path clearly, we're not necessarily going to be clear on our you know, on the result that we're going to get, right? And so, for example, like, you could either say, I want to hit 20 units, or I want to make a sale today, or I want to make 2 sales today. Or you could choose to go in and say, hey, I need to make 2 sales today, or I need to close 20 units. And the reason why is because when you think of something you need, right? Like, oh man, I need to get out of here. You ever do that? Like, you lose track of time, and then you're like, you figure out you got 2 minutes to get somewhere that's a fucking hour away. Oh, whatever, you know, I'm exaggerating. But you know, whenever, but you'll notice, right? Like, oh man, I need to go. I need to do this. I need, right? Like, that ever happen to you? And so I want you to pay attention to how you react after you say something like that, something to the effect of, I need. What happens is it's like your brain kicks in. It's like it gets jolted with creativity, and all of a sudden your brain just kind of unlocks this portion of the brain that just, it's probably the portion that, you know, not the cerebral portion, but the portion that's called figure it the fuck out. Right? Like, I know it's a scientific term, And I don't know how to spell it exactly, but it sounds something like figure it the fuck out. And so that part of your brain lights up, right? Because it just heard its driver, its captain of the ship, you say, I need. And it could be anything, like I need to take a piss, or I need to take a shit, or I need to get out of here, or I need to go get my kids. I need to go, right? There's the difference between that and saying, oh man, I hope, or I really want. Right? It's just a difference. And so if right, pay attention to the way you react. And so after you say I need, your body kicks into this natural instinct of figure it out, right? Like I'm gonna do oh shit. And then we execute, we put things into place. Now I want you to think about the last time you said, oh, I really want this, or I hope for this. Because hope and want are basically the same thing, in my opinion. And I've just simply changed my view. To each his own, right? Like I'm not hating on your point of view, so don't hate on my point of view, but it's helped me thus far to look at hope and want as the same. Because at the end of the day, you could say you want something all you want. But until you do something, you're not demonstrating that you're gonna go get it like you need it. And so when you hear yourself next time say I want, like, oh man, I really want to be successful, or I really want to make a sale today, I hope I make a sale today, I want you to compare your reaction to that statement versus making a statement like, oh shit, I need, right? Because what happens whenever you hear that, like, oh shit, like typically it starts with, oh shit. And so if you got to put yourself in a position where you're just like, oh shit, hey, pretend it, bruh. Like, oh shit, I need to make $100,000 this month. Now, to some degree, right? Like, it's got to be, it's got to be genuine. And that's where the 100% pure comes in, right? Because if you're like, oh shit, I need to make $1 million today, like just because you said I need doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna fucking happen. So it's got to be realistic, and at the same time it's got to be in course, and that's where the GPS path, that's where the the clear path comes in, is because it's clear. It's like this plus that will always equal this, right? And so these are the KPIs that you hear me talk about, key performance indicators. And if you don't know what key performance indicators are, go check out my last video. I think it's about 8 videos ago. It may sound like a lot, but in my world, that's just fucking 4 days ago, because I'm averaging about 2 a day. And so there's this one called KPI. KPI is the X-ray to where you're going. And so, understanding those KPIs, and you understand that X amount of calls will always equal X amount of apps, and X amount of apps always equal X amount of pitches or what have you. So it's a proven path, right? It's a clear path. And that's the science of it. That's the numbers of it, right? Like, it's just the fucking law, right? Like Newton's law or whatever, law of gravity. And so I want us to pay attention. I'm not here to talk about KPIs or science for fucking law of gravity and shit. Although I do be getting high as fuck on them sales charts, I want you to know that I too am also held down by gravity. But where I'm getting at is really pay attention to the difference between want and need, because if you can kind of revise and remaster your lexicon to be more about like, hey, I need towards the goals that you really want. Like if your goal right now, for example, is to go buy a house, or you just want to go buy this cool blinged out watch, instead of saying I want to go buy a house, say, hey, I need to buy this house, or I need to get this fucking blinged out watch. And what happens is when you change your verbiage and the wordplay that you use, mysterious things happen, right? Like you start attracting certain things. You start taking actions that you normally wouldn't, because it's like your body, again, it kicks into that instinct where that portion of your brain, the one that man, what was it called? Oh yeah, just figure it the fuck out. Portion of your brain lights up, and naturally your body reacts to it, and so it starts doing shit. Like it starts going to open houses. Like you have, you know what I mean? Like, how the fuck are you gonna buy this home, bro? But your body's taking you there because it needs to experience it. And even though you can't afford it yet, or you have no intention to buy it yet, you need to experience it and be in the shoes of someone who's pretending, or who's experiencing as if they had it, right? Like you're going through it. And those little actions actually put you closer and closer to it. And the reason why you're even taking action, or why you feel the urge to get just a little bit closer to what that need is because it's something you need. And if you pay attention right now to your idea of what you need, right? Because it could just be our understanding, like the way we perceive the word need. Like you might be like today, right? Like when you're having lunch, like, oh man, I need to get food in my stomach, right? That's an actual need, right? Like I need water. That really is a need. It's like saying I need to breathe. I need air. And so that's true. Then there's some people who are like, hey man, I really needed some Gucci flip-flops. And as fucking weird as that sounds, like, bro, you don't need no Gucci flip-flops. Just the fact that they said they're actually going to figure out a way to get them Gucci flip-flops. You might be like, yo, D, man, how come you always talk about Gucci flip-flops, bro? You got Gucci flip-flops? Are you Bad Babby or some shit? I'm like, no, boo-boo, I'm not Bad Babby. The reason why I say Gucci flip-flops is because right now it's trendy. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, not only that, but I see it all the time now. Like, people are walking, because it's summertime, right? People are walking around with like these Gucci sliders, like Gucci flip-flops. You know what I mean? I get it. But at the end of the day, if you got $300, $400 to throw on some flip-flops, you better be sporting that lifestyle, like some shit that you could literally, like, in other words, if I see you wearing some $300, $400 flip-flops, man, you better not be hopping in no motherfucking Tercel or some fucking Toyota Celica or some shit. You know what I mean? Like your mom's minivan from '88 and shit, but you got Gucci. The fuck, right? Like, you could have put that money elsewhere. You could have put that money towards making more money. You could have put that money towards getting fucking licensed up to go do something that you need to be licensed up to do. Right? And even if license isn't your thing because you got a background or you got a record, like, hey, I know exactly what you mean. I had to literally beg, sell, and plead for my case manager to give me my NMLS license. I was like, please, bruh. I wrote like 9 letters of explanations, you know, and I had it on point. And I was, you know, because what happened was I needed to get licensed. I needed to make money. I needed to have this job. And so what happened was I just did everything that backed up that word need. You know, I didn't go into it like, man, I hope I get approved. Oh man, I hope I pass this test. Fuck that. I made sure I did. Get it? So I hope that this message rings true and also helps you today in changing your perception of those two words, want versus need. And I want you to pay attention to how you use those two words today and how your body reacts to the difference of using those two words. And when you realize how you react differently between the two, maybe you can cancel one of them out when they're not needed. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.